Hello, I am Balázs Aczél and I will talk about the stupidity of research. Probably most researchers have this experience that with hard work they collected data, they summarize their results, they analyze their findings, and then when they reach the final step of their publication, then they realize that they made some error, some stupid error somewhere in the beginning of the project, and then they have to rewrite the article, or in the worst case they have to withdraw their publication. These are the sort of issues which come from the lack of standards in social sciences, and this is one of the sort of topics that our research lab is focused on in the last few years, on the standards of data management in the research lab, how to avoid these mistakes, and what kind of security system could work in the research lab that could prevent these stupid mistakes to happen. I run a lab of Metascience. Metascience is special among the research fields because its focus is not about understanding the world or how humans behave, but how researchers behave, how science is conducted and how science is done. So Metascience is kind of the science of science. What we do in Metascience are three sorts of things. One is a description, describing how science is done, what researchers do and how it could be done. Also, a center aim of Metascience is to give guidance, new standards for scientists and the research field. The third focus of Metascience is to support researchers and the standards of research life. What is special about the social sciences in that in the last 10 or 15 years there was a so-called confidence crisis. The discovery of major issues in the social sciences that brought light to problems such as the weakness of the theory, the problems with data collection, the generalizability issues, also how they draw conclusions from the results. So these are the issues that our research lab is interested in. One focus of our recent projects was transparency. Transparency is a central principle of science, or it should be. The whole idea about science is that we don't rely on authority, but on the evidence that is presented. In the last years, there were in a big movement of open science initiatives to make the data and materials and research code available for ordinary researchers or the wider public as well. But there are certain problems in achieving transparency, and that was the reason why our lab developed the so-called transparency checklist that can help researchers to know what is required for the transparency of their empirical research report, and following this checklist they can easily achieve that they reach those standards that are important for open science. But in these developments, one of the central aims of our lab is to make these changes easier for researchers, to make it so-called user-friendly. So along with the transparency checklist, we developed a number of applications that are aimed to make researchers' life easy while achieving these higher standards of open science and science as well. One approach is to increase the efficiency of everyday work in the research lab, and for example, when calculating sample sizes, it can be a challenging task for empirical researchers, and also how to report the results of these sample size estimates transparently. Our little app is helping researchers to analyze their data or simulate their sample sizes, and gives them some kind of templates that they can use to report the sample size calculations. Article management. When we write an article, we have a list of tasks. For example, related to transparency, it's important to explain who done what in a research project. Tenzing, which is an app that we developed in our lab, helps researchers to record these contributions during the project, and at the end of the project they can easily just paste it in the article and also send it to the journals, therefore make it very transparent of who did what in their research project. Also, a central question lately in Metascience is how research articles are published and whether there is a better way, a better model for running this publication system or tradition. One important aspect that we researched in recent years was the role of the reviewers in the publication process. What we found is that it is globally over 100 million hours free work that researchers donate to publishers throughout the peer review system, which is equivalent to over 15,000 years. So this is how much free work is going in the publication system, and our report that published this finding drew a lot of attention internationally on these issues and brought up new conversations about how to reform the publication system and how to make it fair and balanced in every dimension. So these are extremely important issues, and Metascience will have a lot of challenges in the future years. So I doubt that our lab would run out of things to work on.